today I'm going to teach you 5 top tips about IELTS and how to get the most from your exam. Yes, it's a test of your English, but not just a test of your English. It also looks at how well you can do in the IELTS exam. So even a native speaker, even someone who was born and raised in England, if they took the IELTS exam without preparing for the test, they would not get a top mark, okay? That's not to say their English is bad, but they haven't prepared for the test. So some of this lesson today will be how to prepare for the test and how to prepare your English. Both sides are important. So, having said that, the first thing you need for IELTS is a strong grasp of the English language. You need to be able to speak. You need to be able to write and read with confidence. Even a native speaker would struggle taking the IELTS exam without preparing for it. You need to be able to both speak English, but also you need to be able to do the test well. Having said that, the first thing I want to talk about when preparing for the IELTS is having a strong level of English, starting with confidence, relatively mistake-free, some advanced grammar. This is a basic must. The advice I give to a lot of students when they want to take IELTS is, first of all, don't prepare for the exam. Prepare your English. Make sure that you're confident with your grammar, and not just knowing the rules, but also using it with confidence, using it without mistakes and naturally. Make sure that you are able to tell people what you want to tell them. And this is not IELTS specific or even TOEFL specific, but a good way to start learning how to pass this test. Let me give you an example, specifically from IELTS and the speaking part. The questions are actually very easy. Okay? Tell me about your family. Okay? Even me, with my limited Turkish, I could tell you I have one sister, I have a mother, and all the basic things about my family. But that's not going to get you the highest mark. Communication is key, but showing that your English is very good, proving that you've got a wide vocabulary, strong grammatical base, these are the important parts of replying to this question. Let's say, for example, they ask me, tell me about your family. I say I have one mother and one sister. Technically, I answered the question, but you're not going to get a very high mark. If we take a look at the Cambly website, there is a whole host of example responses you can give to questions like this. Okay, in the beginning you might want to memorize them or learn how to respond, and later on it will become natural for you to give the right amount of detail and the right amount of time with the right amount of appropriate vocabulary. So let's look at the model answer from the Cambly website. Tell me about your family. Well, besides my mum and my dad, I have 3 siblings. I have to say that I'm lucky to be part of this family. You see how it's not actually an extremely long answer, but we used sibling, which is an unusual word. We conveyed a lot more information. And actually, if you want to check out more of these answers and exactly how to respond to these questions, you can check the link on the Cambly website. By the time you get into the exam room, you should be so familiar with the exam format that nothing should faze you, nothing should stop you from getting a high mark. There will of course be a few words you don't know. There will of course be some questions that are hard for you. This is normal for any person. But you should find this, it should be so easy and so natural for you now. You've done it 100 times. You've practiced exactly how many words you're going to write. Let's take an example of the writing exam. We know there will be 2 parts to it, 150 words and 250 words. When you get to the second part, you know it's worth twice as much as the first part. You're going to write 60 words in the introduction. You're going to write this sentence first. You're going to answer this in this way. It's not going to be blind. This is so important. Okay? So, your level of English is good. What next? Well, to get the best marks, it's not just enough to know the language. You should also know something about the customs, okay? Or something about local traditions. So just learning about Christmas, New Year, Easter, some of the major holidays. You can watch the news, you can ask friends. There are so many resources available, okay? This is really important. Not only will it improve your language skills, but it will also get you using native words. How about talking about Brexit? Okay, Brexit, for those of you who don't know, is Britain, England leaving the EU. This is on all the news stations right now, and something very appropriate in politics and culture. So, you have a good level of English. You understand culture and specific English words. What next? Another important point is learning the format of the exam so that you get to the exam and you don't even have to think about it. Right, first, I'm going to do this. I have 20 minutes. I know exactly how many sentences I'm going to write. This is so important. I can't tell you. Even for a native speaker, this would be important. This means a few things. First of all, you know exactly how much time you have. You can maximize your time. Some people might think that IELTS is 3 hours of hell, okay? 3 hours of having to write and speak English. But actually, it's a chance for you to show your knowledge, to make the most of those 3 hours and get the highest score possible. To do that, you need to know the format. In this vein, you should also have some phrases memorized. And I don't mean whole answers, but things like, if I had the time, I would. And these sentences you can easily manipulate according to your answer. You should also practice so much. Work hard. This is what will get you through IELTS. Getting to the point where nothing can stop you. Finally, the most important thing for IELTS is patience and hard work. This isn't a hard exam. It's a hard exam. Right? You will struggle. You will want to give up, I am sure. But you need to keep going. This is not a, if I work hard, I will get a high mark. You have to work hard, all right? It's not me trying to tell you not to take the exam. I'm just trying to prepare you. Cambly has a whole host of tutors who are experts in teaching IELTS. Okay, like me, we've got experience. We've taken people through the process. And more than that, there are lesson plans and resources available all over the Cambly website. There's no better place to learn.